Lord save us, is DK continuing his adventure. The Stand. Episode 2 here. Not episode 2, episode 4. Mission 2. That's what I was trying to say. Dunes of Shakuras. Protoss base camp on the planet Shakuras. Oh, it looks so majestic.
Entaro Tassadar, Executor. The survivors from Aiur have made it safely through the gate. Yet, amidst the chaos of our retreat, we lost contact with Phoenix and Raynor. I fear that they may have been overrun by the Zerg.
Fear not, Artemis. Phoenix is as stalwart a warrior as I have ever known, and the Terran Raynor has proven himself to be highly resourceful in the past. I for one believe that they made it here safely. But while we wait for word from them, we must reconnoiter the surrounding area and find a suitable location for a more permanent settlement. Once we're situated, we can begin to search for the Dark Templar.
Yes, Prelate Zeratul and Praetor Phoenix. Let's establish the base. Even though we're on Shakuras, I'm still gonna use the Aiur Protoss Nexus skin because we're playing as the Kali, I believe. And then once we play the next mission, we're gonna.
There are Zerg on Shakuras. They must have taken control of the warp gate on Aiur.
We're gonna use the non-custom skin because I think blue represents the well, it does represent the executor who is from Aiur, but I do believe it's a mixed faction with the Dark Templar. Although we get to build Dark Templar in this particular mission already. So now we just need to wait until our Nexus finishes warping in. We also need to warp in a pylon, by the way, to trigger the thing that'll happen once this Nexus is done. But for now, we need to spread our zealots kind of apart. The Hydralisks like spawn here, there, and there. So we wanna try to have the zealots protect our buildings and probes, because this is a fairly average macro map. So you notice although the middle fields is kind of far away from my Nexus where I'm warping in, I did this because I want to gather the gas more efficiently. So anyway, Nexus is almost done. By the way, if you don't build this pylon, the Hydralisk won't pop up. So now they're coming.
Glad I am to see that you've returned home after these many decades. But the strange guests that have followed you here seem ill-tempered. Well met, my brother. Indeed, these creatures known as the Zerg have no regard for the sanctity of life. Once we have secured this area, I shall tell you everything I know about them in council. I'm sure the Matriarch will be eager to hear your tale as well.
Executor, we have received a transmission from Raynor and Phoenix. They are still alive and are fighting to retake the warp gate on Aiur. We must secure the gate on this side without delay.
Very well.
New mission objective: destroy the Zerg base now. We lost 2 zealots, we almost lost the 3rd one, but luckily the Nerazim here, the Dark Templar bros, helped us out. So instead of us finding the Dark Templar in the initial mission objective, it was the Dark Templar that found us. Huzzah! Okay, we're not gonna get an assimilator, it's pretty too soon for that. The macro with probes for now, so I'm also gonna forego the gateway for now. Get like 12 more probes and this base should be fully functional. We are kind of long distance mining from You know, look at this distance here. We can like put like 4 probes right here, I think. 3 or 4. Anywho, I actually believe Blizzard should have kept our 4 initial Dark Templar as blue. It's easily doable because you can just set the so the blue computer was obviously an AI, and you can set the AI into a rescuable faction that will retain the color too. But well, I don't know why Blizzard didn't do that. Instead, they just gave us the Dark Templar from the blue player. Not that I'm complaining, but anywho, we're gonna block the ramp with our Dark Templar here, otherwise known as an invisible wall, so the Zerg unit can't get through. Gonna make a lot of probes here. We're gonna start gathering gas. Okay, look at them. Okay, one got through. Nothing our zealots can handle. It's just one Zerg in this one actual active AI. There is purple, but purple is basically like all buildings now. Anywho, make more. We're at a forge soon. So this mission already allows us to get High Templar and Dark Templar, which, by the way, you can create Dark Templar only if you play Brood War. And we can also get all the robotics facility units and the Scout. Just Scout for now. And that tells us already that it's only the second mission of Brood War, and they're already expecting the player to like just know how to handle all this. Kind of interesting if you think about it, because remember the first 3 missions, the first 3 episodes. I mean, why do I keep saying missions? First 3 episodes, especially the first episode, Rebel Yell, they really held our hand, you know. But now they don't do that at all. Like in Brood War, they expect the player to know what they're doing. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about it. And of course, Brood War is a lot more difficult in terms of the gameplay, obviously. So there's like there's like little to zero hand holding in episodes 4 through 6, pretty much. And we just have to live with that. Okay, we're gonna get, once the Zerg attacks us again, their second wave, we're gonna march out with our Dark Templar and some of our ground units and claim this base here. Although it's not necessary, we can just actually beat this map with just this one base alone. But where's the fun in that, right, guys? Oh, and this is also our very first Brood War map, which is the Shakuras map, otherwise known as what was this? Twilight map. This map is called Twilight. Okay, let's kill these Zerglings before the Overlord comes. Alright, that's fine. We got a Citadel of Doom. And these are the sunken colonies, the purple buildings that I was talking about. We also need to get a photon cannon here because I remember the Mutalisk attacks like on the right side here. Just one would be fine, so our Dragoons have time to react. Okay, and then there's a spore colony down here which will need the help of our other ground units, which we can go right now. I can wait for weapon 1, but it's fine. See, that spore colony is what I'm talking about. It will detect our Dark Templar, which, by the way, they have a very different reverse stats. Okay, let's get that leg upgrade. Our gas income's not that good right now, so. But we'll have to live off with that. Okay, well, our level 1 weapons is almost done. Protoss, by the way, in StarCraft 1 as opposed to StarCraft 2, upgrades generally take a lot longer. Just another thing that you should probably keep in mind, I suppose. Yeah, let's go, go. Okay, all is good here. I do believe we can get level 3 upgrades for our ground units. Well, of course, we're stuck with only level 1 air upgrades because we can't access the fleet beacon. Not yet, at least. So we'll just have to wait for that creep to reside and recede. I guess that's the word. And then I'll be able to warp in on Nexus. But before that, I wanna actually get another cannon, just in case. Alright, and then obviously get our armor upgrade. Now there might be some people like wondering, oh TK, why don't you get the shield upgrade? It benefits the Protoss, you know, in all kinds of ways. Like their buildings also get the shield upgrade. But here's the thing about shield upgrades. Unless you're going Archons, and even then, it's not really, shield upgrades are really not that it's not really that helpful because they take full damage, 100% damage to all sorts of attack modifiers and damage source I should say. And majority of the Protoss units have more health than shield, so you wanna make sure you don't take permanent damage. And in order to not take permanent HP damage, you get the armor upgrade, which is, by the way, also a lot more cheap, you know, than what you normally get, what you normally see from researching shield, obviously. So that's just, and then it's just another reason why a lot of StarCraft 1 Protoss players, they hardly ever get Protoss shield. I do believe in StarCraft 2 they also do that. But then again, since we are playing against computers, you can't technically prioritize shield because, I mean, let's be honest here, guys. Like, we're up against an AI, which, by the way, are meant to be beaten, guys. So, in some sense, since we're playing against AI, there will be some time where shield should be prioritized. At least when we're up against AIs, because the AIs, unless they're insane AI, of course, which, by the way, no such thing, at least in this map. The hardest difficulty would be the normal difficult level setting. But aside from that, it's just the AIs are completely slow and they offer no real resistance. So yeah. Anywho, we're gonna probably bring 4 probes here. Maybe not, 3 should be fine. 3. Anyway, we're upgrading. I also noticed we got a patch where our HUD HUD for the Protoss race got kind of, I want to say kind of, it actually got updated a lot. And I went to the forums yesterday. It's been a while since I last checked the forums, the StarCraft General forums, and apparently a lot of people don't like this, and I can't understand why, but I still think it's better than the initial one, where this like over here and here was completely blank and looked absolutely like unpolished. I mean, this one looks kind of funky too, but I'd rather take this than just the lack of the whole design of the HUD. So I'll say Blizzard did okay. I guess they could have done better, but then again, it's the new Blizzard, guys. What, like, don't have too much expectation already. Remember the WoW mumble jumble? That's what happened, guys. The old Blizzard is gone, sadly. If you had the old Blizzard, we would have Warcraft 5 by now or something. I'm not even joking, guys. Not Warcraft 4. I'm talking Warcraft 5. But instead, we get a bunch of World of Warcraft expand, obviously. Okay, let's attack here. This Archon's still alive. Pretty good. That's the warp gate that the Zerg used to get to Shakuras here. Not so much of a secret homeworld anymore, huh? Dark Templars. Okay, let's get more pylons so we don't get a side block. I'll get a robo facility to get an observer probably. I mean, probably over here should be fine once this pylon warps in. Yeah, we're looking good here. How's our upgrades? Level 2, going strong. Okay, there, and a cannon or 2 there, looks fine. Yeah, these probes are sufficient right there. We don't need to get scouts because they get totally wrecked by almost anything, spore colonies, hydralisk, yada yada yada. I also forgot to scout this other side, but when you play this for the first time, you have to scout everywhere. Although when I first played, when I say first, when I really touched this game for the first time, I built the Nexus here. And it was very strange. And then this older dude told me this cheat, showed me the money, and I was able to build my units there without knowing that I was supposed to get my base here and then play. Ah, gosh, that was a long time ago. That really was a long time ago. There's also an expand here, which, by the way, is just a Zerg trap. Might as well kill the Zerg there because they will eventually unburrow and go to their base because they're getting under attack. Alright, looks good. Oh, if I try to bait. Yeah, the murals attack a lot slower than I thought. It's what ifs. Anyway, let's get that observatory. Can also get reavers, but that's an overkill to be honest. No, let's make more macro gateways here. Like a bit closer, I suppose. Actually, this mission is over, guys. We have sufficient enough of units here. Although pathing is a bit of a problem here, but we're playing StarCraft here, not StarCraft new mechanics or StarCraft 2, so it will feel kind of like rigid, not rigid, but kind of rocky, I should say. But that's just how it is. Gotta love StarCraft for that. You see all these units coming over here. Gotta be careful. Oh, Zergling is the bane of all Dragoons. It should have been a Zergling that killed Phoenix, spoiler alert, in Phoenix form. But then most people utilize Queen. Yeah. Phoenix. Why was it hidden? Why couldn't it be? Actually, why even Alderus too? I actually liked Alderus in episode 3. Although he was a bit of a jerk, but then comes this episode where Alderus is completely like not even worth mentioning anymore.
My crew and I will remain here on Aiur and shut the gate down on this side. It's the only way to make sure the Berserk won't send more reinforcements to Shakuras.
You will be hopelessly outnumbered. And once the gate is shut down, there will be no one to save you should you be overrun.
Yeah, well, I'm a man of action. What can I say?
I shall remain with Raynor as well, Executor. My duty is to Aiur after all.
Farewell then, brave warriors. We will send through all the troops we can spare.
Thanks. You kids just remember to play nice from now on, okay? Wish us luck.
I like how you can see Phoenix and Raynor behind that workgate. Pretty cool. Yikes. Just 5 more missions to go. Was it 5 or 6? Isn't there like total of 7? No, I think it's total of 8 missions in episode 4. But anyway, we're the Protoss refugees now, and now we're gonna be we'll be playing as blue. So next mission is time to turn off that pre-skin purchase, and they're the Renegade Zerg, not controlled by Cerberus apparently. Although they are, but they're telling us that they're Renegade because Overmind is dead. But anyway, hopefully y'all enjoy watching this. I will continue tomorrow if I can. But for now, DK signing.